And now this king, remember this king, which walk of shamed all the way over here, the king comes back. The king begins walking back to the pawn. And now black creates a blockade. Stockfish doesn't allow the pawns to go through. The pawn makes it all the way to c6, but the rook is back to h8 and to c8. And the pawn arrives on c7. The king walks all the way to d7, gives everybody a big hug and says, "What's up? I'm back." The king went f8, g8, h8, g8, f7, e8, d7. Oh my gosh. This is spectacular. And now Stockfish is just up a knight. All it's gonna take now is for Stockfish to blockade the pieces. It trades bishops and it wins the pawn and it defends its pawn on a6. Stockfish needs to hang on to its pawns or this is a draw. Mittens is actually going to save this game. King g4. The king begins walking up. Rook to b6, paralyzing the black position. But suddenly, Stockfish has broken free. It forces the rook to go back by threatening an exchange. Zips into the second rank, zips around, and now it's going to sacrifice its pawn over here. No, it's not. Knight to e6 anchors that pawn as well. King f7. The rook is back around. The pawn slides over to a5. And in this position, Stockfish finds the fact that it can walk the king all the way around. It doesn't need its a-pawn anymore. It can lose its a-pawn. It doesn't matter. The white king walked too far. The white king got stranded on the back rank, and now it will pay the price with its life. Rook c1. Rook back to c7. Rook blocks the pawn on the b file. h6. And I'm not trading pawns with you. Stockfish plays g5. The king gets forced to the back rank. Now we have g4. We have h7. The pawn is a square away from becoming a queen. Stockfish forces Mittens in front of its own pawn and begins to push its g-pawn. It doesn't matter. We have rook to g8. And now Stockfish walks out of the way because if you take, it's here, rook g8, knight to f8. The threat is mate. You cannot take. Remember, this pawn is going forward. If you take, it's mate. You are stranded in the corner. So b6 played instead. g2, b7. And now, Stockfish plays g1 rook. If you take the rook, it's the same winning idea. If you don't take the rook, Stockfish in this position allows Mittens to check and make a queen, because by force it takes its pawn, it takes its queen, and the only legal move remaining is for Mittens to move the king here and